This is LeBron James, and today I'm going to share one of my main ways I stay healthy. And I'm talking about fitness on all levels: physical, mental, and emotional. A while back, I was being interviewed about my training regimen. And the interview guy asked me, "LeBron, what's the one thing that's become most important for your health as you've gotten older?" And my response wasn't the kind of thing that you might expect. It wasn't hot yoga or Pilates. It wasn't hydration or nutrition. It wasn't the cryotherapy I do after workouts or the Normatec boots or the hyperbaric chamber. All that stuff is important, don't get me wrong. But the thing I prioritize above everything else is sleep. There's nothing more valuable to my body, to my recovery, to my career, and even just my happiness than sleep. What's crazy is the most powerful thing you can do for your health is also the most natural thing you can do. Let's say someone comes to you and say, "Hey, I've invented a magical energy drink, and this drink has the power to totally heal your body. It's going to balance your emotions and put you in a better mood. It recharges your mind and makes you more creative and productive. It's going to boost your immune system so you'll hardly ever get sick. Matter of fact, it'll probably tack 20 years onto your life. Oh, and by the way, all those benefits are scientifically proven. Oh, and by the way, it's free. Only catch is, it takes about 8 hours to kick in." If that drink existed, are you picking up a bottle? I'd be having a crate of that stuff shipped to my front door. But it does exist. That's exactly what sleep does. The challenge is, sleep takes time. If we want to prioritize it, we need to push back on literally everything else in our life. Responsibilities, relationships, projects, work, friends, family, everything. The day is limited. Our time is valuable, and we want to get the most out of it. The time we spend awake is precious, but so is the time we spend asleep. The way I think about it, every minute I spend sleeping is like a deposit in a savings account. And every minute I put in, I get back 2 minutes of me at my best. That's 2 high-quality minutes when I'm awake, alert, and focused. 2 minutes when I'm feeling calm and loose and ready. If you think about it, that's an unbelievable return on investment. And when I don't get the proper sleep, I know what happens. My recovery plan gets thrown off. I start to feel like lethargic. My mental game slips, and my thinking gets narrow, like I lose control of my options in certain situations. There's a scene in the movie Fight Club when Edward Norton says, "When you have insomnia, you're never really asleep, and you're never really awake." That's how I feel if I'm coming off a rough sleep. I'm just kind of off. It's like I'm half awake. Early on in my career, sleep is something I would compromise sometimes. But I've learned over the years that there's nothing more important. Sleep is like a resource that I protect at all costs. So let me take you inside my sleep habits to give you a sense of how I make it a top priority. The first step is my sleep hours are scheduled. I make sure I get those minimum 8 hours, minimum. And I have a 2-hour nap every day as well. If you're not a professional athlete, the nap might seem extreme, but don't compromise those 8 hours. And when I say sleep hours are scheduled, I'm saying literally me and my trainer put it on my calendar, the same way I would schedule conference calls or dentist appointments. Everything works backwards from that schedule. My meals, training, free time, everything wraps around my sleep. A couple years back, I had a day game in New York at Madison Square Garden. Tip-off was at 1 p.m., and that's an early start time for an NBA game. That means the team bus leaves the hotel around 10 a.m., so you're probably thinking, that's pretty early, so I must have had my daily nap after the game, right? You think so, but when it comes to my game day routine, consistency is everything. I've got to get that nap in before the game. So with the start time at 1 p.m., my whole schedule shifts. I went to bed early the night before to get a full night's sleep. And I woke up at 6 a.m. that day, so I could still fit in my nap before the game. Like I said, everything works backwards from my sleep. Another thing that's important is the environment. I try to create a sanctuary with no distractions. I spend a lot of time on the road, so I often sleep in hotel rooms. But even though my surroundings change night to night, the sleep conditions don't change. I make sure the temperature is optimal. For me, it's 68 to 70 degrees. I make sure the room is completely dark. I use blackout curtains to block out the natural light. I put a towel over anything else that emits light, like a clock or electronic devices. Obviously, a comfortable bed is critical. I open up the Calm app, find my Rain on Leaves, and I'm good. Something else that's important is turn off all electronics 30 to 45 minutes before I go to sleep. No phones, no iPad. It's tempting to lie there flipping through social media before you go to bed, but I've learned to disrupt my sleep. It's like my bedtime ritual is a bubble I create for myself, and nothing breaks that bubble. I don't let anything in. My trainer Mike Mancia says, recovery never stops. No matter if I'm playing, training, or traveling, we're always planning my recovery. Rest is prioritized and sleep is scheduled. Some people want to make me feel guilty for sleeping, like it's a sign of laziness. They try to glorify how they run on 5 hours of sleep, like it's a badge of honor. But when you think about it, the most considerate thing you can do for people around you is to be healthy and present for them. People are depending on me as a father, a husband, a friend, a teammate, a business partner, and a whole lot of other things. And nothing is more important to those relationships than me than being happy and healthy. If you're thinking, hey, this isn't for me, I'm not a professional athlete, here's how I think about it. If you're trying to push yourself to do more and be more, if you're trying to get the most out of your time, if you're trying to be as creative and energetic as you can be, to show up fully present in the world every day, then you need to recharge your system. If you want to seize the day, you've got to sleep the night. Simple as that. Matter of fact, it's time to head out of the studio and take a nap. I'm LeBron James. Thanks for listening. And like I said, sleep well.